Well, good morning, everyone. It's so good to see everyone back here for another edition of Weekly Wellness with my favorite feel good doctor, the one and only Dr. Mia Cowan. And of course, I'm your girl, Comedienne Joy. Good morning, Dr. Cowan. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm fantastic. How you doing, Comedienne Joy?
I'm good. Do you know where I am this morning?
No, I know you somewhere exotic in the world, not in these United States of Americas. Where are you?
I just arrived to Tuscany about 20 minutes ago.
Tuscany. Where's Tuscany, honey?
It's in Italy.
Wow. Oh, that Tuscany. I didn't know you were
That
going all the
Tuscany.
way to look. I thought you were in like Mexico or somewhere.
Now that's next month, but I've got to Italy. I left Alabama Wednesday, so I guess maybe I got here Thursday night. So I'm still dealing with a little bit of the jet lag. So I don't know how we're gonna tie jet lag in with our health and see if this pellet gonna help for that or what we need for that. So yeah, I'm trying to tell myself I'm technically not sleepy, and it's like weird because I'm
What
eating.
time is it there?
It's actually 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, it's 9 a.m. here. So awesome.
Yeah, so that's 6 hour time difference. But I saw you sipping something in your cup. What you got in that cup, Dr. Mia?
Girl, I got my tea, my free Adela tea with some green tea and some royal tea and some ginger and turmeric.
Okay.
Nothing exciting for you could be enjoyed
Well, sometimes you can disguise stuff when you have it in that cup.
in that cup.
That's
But
right.
this is the Forge Cup, y'all. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So if you know somebody with breast cancer, Forge is a wonderful nonprofit organization that takes really good care of women who are actually going through breast cancer treatments. They have a lot of assistance. So Forge, if you know somebody going through that right now, share Forge with them. They are an amazing organization in our community that they do a lot of great work.
So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We last time we did Weekly Wellness, we talked about the cervical cancer. So we hope all ladies are getting their mammograms. But today we're talking about mental health.
mental health and intimacy. So we want to talk about how that affects the women in our phase of the journey, which is that perimenopause and menopause, and how mental health affects us all in general, but also how that can affect our intimacy.
So let me ask this. So a lot of times we talk about relationships and mental health and also the intimacy part. For women, intimacy doesn't start at 9 o'clock p.m. when we get
Right.
intimacy starts for us all day. So if you've talked to us correctly, if you loved on us, you've filled up our emotional love tank, so to speak, it's easy for 9 o'clock to get here.
Yeah.
But are there some other things that also, when we talk about our mental health, that could also impede that process, or things that could help that to be a bumpy road?
Yeah. So I would say yes, definitely with hormones in general. So a lot of women who are over 35, 40, they tend to have a decline in their testosterone. And I would say that's probably the most common cause of decreased sex drive after 35 or 40 is a change in the testosterone. When the testosterone levels decline for a lot of women and men, that can mean a decrease in the desire to have intercourse. So just simply replacing the testosterone with our wonderful plant-based bioidentical hormone therapy pellets or creams are going to be a huge help for the decrease in libido. Now, it can also be because of medications we're taking, because during this phase of life, we also a change in our neurotransmitters. So a lot of women will notice a little bit more anxiety or depression, or if they already have bipolar disorder, they may notice that a lot of the symptoms that go along with that may be worsening, even though they're on their medications. So some of the medications that we use to treat our mood can also negatively affect our sex drive. But again, you can still take those medications. Sometimes just going to your doctor, especially your gynecologist, letting them check your hormone labs as well as your thyroid labs, because thyroid can cause low libido as well. You know, if you have low thyroid and your medication is not at an optimal level and your numbers don't look great because you're so tired, that can negatively affect your desire for intercourse. And again, some of the antidepressants will cause a decrease in libido, but there are still some things we can do with continuing continuing to take our medications, we can also balance our hormones and our other levels to make sure that we can overcome the decline in the libido so we can still have great intimacy.
So basically, they're taking the antidepressants to obviously not feel depressed, to help keep their mood up, but you're saying it also can trigger you not wanting to be intimate.
Right, because the antidepressants can increase some of them will increase your appetite, make it easier to gain weight, which can definitely affect your mood and your self-esteem. And then some of them just naturally decrease the libido and increase the appetite as well. And then we have some good ones too that don't do that. So one of my favorite cocktails to try from the beginning in women in this age group who are already struggling with weight, who already may be struggling with mood and anxiety and depression, is that's one of the reasons I like Wellbutrin, which is a very old category B antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication. It works really well for some people, and for some people it doesn't. But I like to kind of start with that one when somebody's starting to initially feel the symptoms, because I know that particular medication won't negatively affect their drive, and it won't make them want to eat more too, which makes a huge difference in how they respond to the medication and their quality of life.
But Dr. Mia, you know, after you've had some good intimacy, you want a little snack though. So that, you know, you're going to be sleepy, but it's like that midnight snack on top.
But you know what? If you having the right intimacy, you shouldn't have to have a snack afterwards, because it should release those good endorphins that don't even make you think about food.
Really?
They suffice for food, girl.
I just must be greedy.
It's a mind thing. It's a mind thing. Some people do equate like a good moment and a feel good moment to good food. So automatically they want some good food after, you know, something great like a nice climax.
Yeah.
But if we can be mindful in that moment and just think about how good we feel in that moment, it should keep us from having that desire for something to eat. We just need to stay in tune with that climax that just happened. Be mindful.
So you saying not even a handful of chips and roll over?
If you can avoid it, focus on those other endorphins that are telling you to just lay back and enjoy the moment. Be mindful.
All right, I got to work on myself. But let me ask you this. So, of course, we are women of a certain age, and because some of my girlfriends and I on this trip was talking about this earlier, that when you get to a certain age, and you know, you may crave a snack or two here. Obviously, we got to watch it, but it's so hard to get the weight off. So, what if we already are trying to get those last unwanted pounds off, and that too can affect the way we think about our body image.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to be sexy to our partner or want to just feel good about ourselves. How can we change the mindset to say, you know what, I'm going to feel good about myself in this moment in time. I'm going to make some changes. What else can we do?
Right. So I would say, say that question again. I'm sorry.
So basically, we're talking about our body image.
Okay.
In this, you know, premenopausal state.
Mm-hmm.
How can we still try to feel good about what we're looking at in the mirror?
Right. So here's what I would say is understand, first of all, we are not going to look the way we did at 25. That's just not how God made the maturing woman. That's not how we're supposed to go through these different stages of life. We're not going to look the same as we did at 20 years old. But I do think there is something in looking in the mirror at yourself on a regular basis and finding the things that you really like. I do feel like with me, when I exercise and I know that I'm doing the things that I can do on my end, I'm not going to have a Beyonce body. I don't care what I do right now. I don't care how much I work out. I'm not going to have a Beyonce body right now. But I can have the best Mia body. You know what I mean? Like I can have the best body that I can have. So that's why I put my time in the exercise and trying to eat right. But I have come to the reality that I'm probably not going to love my body the way I did at 20, but I can still respect it for where it's gotten me at 49, understanding that all I can do is the best with what I can do right this moment. So it's just not going to be a 25-year-old body. So I think just coming to grips with your body has changed. It will continue to change, but you can do those things that you can to keep it as optimally looking as you can possibly do by doing your part with exercise and trying to eat right.
So when we do look at ourselves in the birthday suit, we just need to embrace, we may have a few little jiggly parts.
Yeah.
Not as tight as they used to be.
Yeah, but understanding that, right? One, it's a blessing to just still, be here, and then to be able to be comfortable enough to look at your body and understanding that your partner probably loves so many things about your body that you hadn't even noticed. You know what I mean? So finding the things that you like about your body, exercising, understanding that it may not look like it used to, but you can still feel sexy to yourself and still feel sexy to your partner. But just seeing it for what it is, and do the parts that you can do, which is all you can do is exercise and eat right, and try to do the right exercise and get you a trainer. Focus on those parts that you want to improve. But I'm over it now. I'm just like, okay, my body not gonna look like it did, but I can remember when I was 100% happy with my body, and now it's not gonna be that way. But I know that I'm still happy with my body because I can use it. I got my health. I have my strength. I'm still able to walk around, move around without pain. So focusing on those other positive aspects of your body, like everybody that's 49 years old can't walk around and can't get up or get on the floor and stand. You know what I mean? So focusing on the things that you have done to keep your body in the best possible health that you can do, that's all we can do. So just kind of get over it. It ain't gonna be like 25. It's just gonna be as sexy as it can be for whatever age you are right now.
So what about some advice for women that still may want to drop it like it's hot in the bedroom, but it's gonna take you a little bit longer to pick that thing up, but you still want to keep it sexy?
Well, I would say exercise, and I would say at this point in exercise, Pilates, yoga, swimming, those are three great forms of exercise that work really well for helping you to keep the muscle that you have, to help you to kind of sculpt the muscle that you have, so making sure you're doing the resistance training. I personally do weight training, but I do it with a trainer because I don't want to hurt myself. And I have the best body sculptor ever. Shout out to PK Fitness Peggy, who does a really good job at helping me to sculpt and keep my body as good as I can possibly keep this 49-year-old body, almost 50-year-old body. But, just still finding the things that I like, and knowing that I'm doing the best that I can to work on it. And this is just what it is. I'm 49. This is what it's going to be. But I still look good to me. I still feel good. I still look good. I can still move. I know exercise helps a lot with intimacy in general. It helps with your mood. It helps with your anxiety and your depression. It helps with your weight, but it also helps get those endorphins out too, so that you have a better libido because you have more energy. You're feeling better. Your mood is better. All of those things are going to help with your intimacy.
And we are, excuse me, getting close to the end of the year. They're gonna start playing that Christmas music.
Yep, and for some people, it makes them happy.
For some people, it makes them sad. So
Yeah,
that what do the lonely do at Christmas? Part of that can affect someone's mental health.
that's right.
And we talk about on this show, you can be happy with or without a partner. So you
That's
haven't
right.
those people.
Right. And I would say too, everybody needs therapy. Let's not forget about the things we need to do to maintain our mental health. So if you're having a lot of anxiety or depression, and when you think about anxiety and depression, anxiety, you think of feeling overwhelmed, sometimes having palpitations to go along with it. You just can't relax. You're just in this high stress state, which is not good for your heart. When you think about depression, you think about the lack of energy, the lack of desire to do things that you enjoy. You may sleep a whole lot or not be able to sleep. You may eat a whole lot or not be able to eat. You may lose a lot of weight. You may gain a lot of weight, but you just don't have that energy and desire to get up and do the things that you used to do. So at that point, you should be having that conversation with your gynecologist to have your hormones checked. You should be talking to your gynecologist or your primary care doctor about your mood, so you can figure out exactly what's going on. If it's a low neurotransmitter issue, there are several medications that we can use to help improve your mood. Again, exercise, eating healthy, all of those things are going to help with your mood. But just understanding that if you already have some mental illness or some mental health concerns, which a lot of people do, and if you think about your family history, it's somebody in your family that may have had some kind of major mental health concern. So going to the doctor, getting the diagnosis, getting the right medications, balancing your hormones, doing those lifestyle things like eating healthy, exercising, surrounding yourself around positive people, seeing your therapist, and putting all of these things in your schedule as a part of your routine for life. Because just like we have to do everything we need to for our physical health, the preventions and the screenings, we need to do those same things for our mental health. And mental health is so important.
That's true. And then I guess at some point we probably could even do those affirmations, because I see like a lot of quotes and memes as I look on social media, because we think about our own self-image. That's just what we think we are.
Yes.
It was funny, 'cause when my daughter was a kid, I would always tell her that I'm Halle Berry's sister. And for a while she was a kid, she didn't know, she thought that was her auntie. So I always make these jokes, and sometimes I tell people now, hey, I'm, Beyonce's younger sister or her cousin or whatever. So sometimes it's that we have to work on ourselves to say, hey, I'm still beautiful. I may have skin around, this waistline, but I'm still beautiful.
That's right.
We have to start believing in ourselves, because for real, some of those people don't look like who they are when they take off the weave, the lashes, the makeup and stuff. You have to be the best beautiful person who you are.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And like you said, doing all those other things too. Another thing I used to do when I was really going through it, because I'm always going through something, being an entrepreneur and trying to run a business, it's always a lot of ups and downs. So what I would do is I focus on the positives. And when I was really going through it and like struggling to get out of bed and do the things I needed to do, because I was just so overwhelmed, I started waking up in the morning and I would name like 5 things that I am grateful for. Then I would think about the 5 things that are going well that I can improve. The stuff that's going bad that I can't improve or change, I would just kind of pray about that, give it to God, and leave that alone and focus on the controllables. Because I think you just become so overwhelmed when you start thinking about things that you can't control. You know what I mean? Like things like making sure you're going to make payroll this week. You know what I mean? What are the things that I can do to control that? I can't, make 10 new patients come in today, but what is it that I can do with that right now that can actually make a difference and help me? If I could come up with something, I would focus on it. If I couldn't, I would give that to the good Lord and focus on something that was controllable that could help any situation that I'm dealing with. So I think focusing on your blessings, always waking up with that gratitude. Sometimes I would be like, let me look at my checking account and see how much gas I can put in my tank, because I got just so much in my account. You know what I mean? But I would thank God that I could put some gas in my tank and I was going to get to work and I had some money in my account that I could check. You know what I mean? So just focusing on the things that are positive, not giving all your energy to the to the negative, and surrounding yourself around positive people. Yes. Remember that you are only good as the crew that you hang around. So if you hanging around a bunch of people, all they doing is focusing on all the negatives going on in their life, and you have to listen to that all day, every day. That's not good for you mentally. You have to find those positive people that you can be around and keep that good energy around you. Speak it. Do your affirmation, speak what you want to be, put it out there in the atmosphere. And then, like I said, see your therapist, do your exercise, take your medications, make sure you balance your hormones, because all of those things are going to affect your mood. And if you are like me, you may come from a family history of every kind of mental illness that there is on the market. Anything that they mention is probably somebody in my immediate family, at some point in my generations, is somebody that had those mental health issues. So since I already know that, that's why I've always been real sensitive about making sure I keep a therapist on hand, making sure I see a therapist on a regular basis, making sure I take my medications for my neurotransmitters. You know what I mean? For my mental health. I know that when I take my Wellbutrin and my Buspirone first thing in the morning, I'm going to have a much better day. I'm not going to be irritable. It controls my mood. It controls my anxiety. It controls my emotional eating. So, trying to figure out what works for you. So journaling works really well. So when you're having a good day, what happened during your day that made you have a good day? Was it certain foods that you ate? Did you wake up this morning to exercise? Did you wake up this morning with your prayer partner? Did you wake up this morning praying? Like, what was it that made you have a good day? And figure out what those things are for you, and then incorporate that into your life and your lifestyle, and get all of that negative energy completely out of the way, because it is hard to have great intimacy and great relationships when your mood controls everything around you, and you're not able to deal with those difficult situations because your neurotransmitters are off. Fix them. Take your medication. I take mine every morning. Get my
Ooh,
pill every 3 months and go see my therapist at least once a month, usually every 2 to 3 weeks.
now I got a good question for you, Dr. Mel.
Mm-hmm.
What if your partner is Mr. Grumpy Pants? How do you fix that?
So I think communication is key. So remember, we've got all those different levels of communication. So when you with a partner and you trying to really, grow your relationship, y'all have to get to that level 5 communication where you can have those difficult conversations that include your emotions, that may hurt somebody's feelings, filled with honesty, respect. But letting them know like that their mood and the way that they treat you bothers you and how it makes you feel. You know what I mean? And so being able to communicate that, and then making sure that they go see the doctor. If you feel like your partner is extremely depressed, making sure that you say that to them, and then you make sure that you take them to the doctor and go to their doctor's appointments with them so that you can help them feel better and see that other side of what they may not be seeing, that perspective, your perspective. So I think communication is key, encouraging your partner to go to the doctor as well, making sure they're doing all of those basic things like exercising, eating right, taking their medications, balancing their hormones, getting a good therapist. But a lot of times we have to be that example in our family as women. So my family sees that I think I take mental health so seriously, and I have my therapist. So they just think it's a normal part of life to have a therapist, to go see your therapist on a regular basis. But I have set that standard in my household to make that just completely normal and a part of just health and wealth.
And also, it's about identifying triggers.
Yes.
Because I can definitely identify being that busy entrepreneur. So after the last presidential election, I stopped watching the news
Me
because
too,
that
girl. I don't watch it at all. Just
period.
ignorant.
Yes. So if something comes across my timeline that's newsworthy or something happened in the city, that is when I see it, because that sends my anxiety up. And it's about knowing those things that causes anxiety, because I'm
Yeah.
moving. A lot of times I will have my ringer off, but if you
Mm-hmm.
or if I see a missed call, then I can manage that. Or I just check my messages at a certain time of day, so that way I can get back to everybody and still stay on top of it. Because certain noises, it just like, oh my God, it's something else. Because
Mm-hmm.
I have to finish these 1 or 2 tasks.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else I started doing. I don't give myself a list of 10 things to do a day. If I can do 3, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Realistic expectations, not overwhelming yourself with responsibility. And
Yes.
saying no, like that's part of mental health. Like just say no. Like somebody asked me the other day, they were like, and I am not used to doing this. They were like, hey, I got this board that I want you to be on. And I was like, they were like, do you think you can serve on the board? I was like, no. And I felt comfortable at that moment saying no without a reason, but so that I didn't hurt that person's feelings. I was like, and I'm already on so many boards and I've overcommitted myself. I'm probably going to fall off of one of these boards in the next year or so we can revisit, but I cannot add one more thing because that's going to overwhelm me and that's going to negatively affect my mental health. And getting that negative energy out of your life, even if it's a family member or a friend, that you notice that when you talk to that person, you get off the phone feeling worse than when you got on the phone. Your mood is worse than when you get that is somebody that you may not need to spend a lot of time with because they are not good for your energy and for your own mental health. You have to choose yourself over everybody else sometimes.
Exactly. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's so key of learning to say no, period. You don't have to say no because I have to get the kids, no because of this, because then they will come back and try to fix the reason you're saying no. Just say no.
Right.
And
And
also,
then when you're a superwoman or, you have always just kind of done everything, you don't complain about it, then people continue to expect that, but you have to set the standards and the rules. And so sometimes I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm tired. Like, you can't do my schedule like this because this overwhelms me and this causes increased anxiety for me for you to have my schedule like this. So then that's just worsening the symptoms that I already have because I didn't stop and say, hey, y'all are not going to treat me like this. You're not going to overbook my schedule where I'm having a terrible day because I'm stressed out because my patients are waiting. What I'm going to do is go to the source and I'm going to tell them how I want my schedule, what works for my mood, what decreases my anxiety and still allows me to see my patients. But you get to control how people treat you. You know what I mean? If you overwhelmed and coming home to cook dinner is too much to you, you need to have that conversation with your family. Tell your family that you need more help. Tell your husband that you are getting overwhelmed and you need more help. And I do that on a regular basis. If I start feeling like the expectations for me are higher than what I can give, I have that conversation with my family. You know what I mean? Like, okay, y'all, I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed right now. I can't add another thing to my plate, but we have to communicate that. And we can't assume that our partners know when we stressed out and why we stressed out without having a conversation. So again, the communication component and being comfortable telling people how you feel and not allowing people to make you do things that overwhelm you, that make you unhappy, that you don't want to do. You just got to have those tough conversations. And I don't mind having them. And they just may have an attitude with me for a minute because they don't understand. But usually after they stop and think about it, they say, yeah, you know, because a lot of people don't know everything that you're doing in a day.
Exactly.
You know, so.
But if they need someone to cuss people out for them or to give them some choice words, I'm here for them 24/7. Italy, I will make time in my schedule to go off.
Right. That's right. No is legal. It is legal to say no. Okay. Y'all say no more often. Choose you. It's okay to choose you. I think that's the thing that women need to lead with. It is okay for you to be selfish and to put yourself up on a pedestal and take good care of yourself so you can take good care of everybody else. Because if you overwhelmed and you don't have it together and your anxiety all over the place, what's going to happen to your family? They're going to be all over the place, anxious, and it's going to be bad for everybody. So just tell them when you're overwhelmed, communicate, get you some help, you know, invest in those things that take stress off you. Like if you know you don't have time to clean your house and you don't like a dirty house, sacrifice instead of, you know, spending all that money on Starbucks, save up your money to get somebody to come and help you clean up so that that's one less stress or that you have, you know, figuring out how to meal prep to take some of the stress off you. So doing things that you can do, plan for, and schedule that actually decrease your stress and anxiety is going to help with your mental health. And in turn, that's going to help with your everlasting intimacy, which is at the end of the day, one of the most important goals that we should have is the everlasting intimacy because it makes the world a happier place.
It sure does. And so to worry about folding underwear and picking up after people, that makes you freer to want to be free at night with your partner or without your partner.
Exactly, because God gave us everything we need to enjoy the beautiful gift.
Exactly. And y'all want to have those gifts as often as you can. I think it's a scripture in the Bible about it. After this, we get
yeah, but since we don't quote Bible scripture, we just know it's in there somewhere.
It's in there. I think it's in the very first chapter of the book. In the beginning.
but what we want y'all to take away with this is that it's okay to protect your mental health. Your mental health is very important. You get to control how people treat you. You get to control the expectations that people have of you, but put yourself first, put your mental health first, and do the things that you can do to have better control over your mental health, your energy, and you know, you get to control your environment as well.
Exactly. You couldn't have said that any better. And if you're looking for some fun, if you need a woosah, the key to that after you've done talk to your therapist, you've gotten your pellets, is to come on the Eat, Drink, and Ride food tour that
my favorite.
Yes, we get on the party bus. We go to 5 local restaurants in 4 hours. You don't have to think about where you're going to go eat because I already have it planned. All you have to do is just eat the food from these local places at these restaurants, and you will have an amazing time ever. And if you still need that medication or you're behind on getting all your checkups done for your wellness, for your female body, your spouse, that's what you call Me Bella Wellness. You can online once we're done with this webinar.
That's right.
Line. That's one less thing that you got to worry about.
And then the last thing I want to say is sleep, y'all. You can't have good mental health without sleep and rest. So if you're not sleeping, you're snoring, you're not wearing your CPAP machine, you waking up all night long, waking yourself up snoring, not holding your breath because you have true sleep apnea, you're going to be in a bad mood. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be more depressed without sleep. So making sure you're getting that high quality sleep is going to be important as well. So y'all get your rest and do fun things. Do things you enjoy, like go on the Eat, Drink, and Ride tour. Get on some of those great travel things that Comedienne Joy has. She has a lot of different tours. She takes y'all to travel. Vacation is so important for your mental health. Taking time off, taking time to rest, not working all the time, all the things. So Joy has all the stuff that you need for your entertainment and your fun around the Birmingham area. And if you want to branch out, she all the way in Italy right now. She can book you a trip to go anywhere in the world that your little heart desires.
That's right. All you need is a passport and we are ready to go. And guess what? That CPAP machine is not counted as your luggage piece when you travel. So if they tell you 2 bags, you bring that CPAP as a 3rd bag. So
Oh, and they can I didn't know that because
yeah,
Joseph always try to get it in his backpack and it's all super heavy. So he just need a separate bag and he can keep it from being so heavy.
yes. When you get your CPAP, they give you a bag to keep it in, so you can just bring that bag with you when you travel. Typically, because I'm usually going to some tropical place and I'm only gone like 4 or 5 days, I just put it in my carry-on.
Yeah.
In swimsuits, but this time because I am here in Italy 9 days, a bit longer, I did bring my CPAP bag because again I knew it would not be counted against me, and that way I have my carry-on and my backpack. It didn't take much room.
Well, you know what, Comedienne Joy, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your amazing vacation to get on with Weekly Wellness with Dr. Mia and all the ageless bells that wanted to come in and hear some positive, good information on how they can live their best life. But thank you for taking the time out of your busy travel schedule all over the world to come and talk to the ageless bells so that we can keep our health in order. Because y'all know what we want y'all to do is live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy. I hope y'all have joined our new podcast, me and Joseph's Ageless Vitality, where we focus on men, women, and couples as we go and evolve through this midlife journey so that we can live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy. So y'all definitely want to join that. The second podcast, I think, is coming out next weekend, next Saturday. We do 2 a month. So make sure you go watch the first one, which is navigating the midlife journey. And I can't remember what the second one is about, but y'all follow me, go subscribe to the podcast and share because we always have some great information. So thank y'all for joining. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Ageless Intimacy with Dr. Mia and Joseph. And we'll be talking about the 5 love languages.
Ooh,
So everybody needs to know their love language so you can be loved the way you want to be loved.
that's right. And I think some people may be bilingual, but you got to figure out which one is the most, of your language. So that way,
And I think I like all 5 of them, but it's some that I really need to have that's up top, which is my words of affirmation. I need for people to tell me how great I am on a regular basis.
you are
Like, Joseph, you didn't tell me what I just did was good. That's how I love. Didn't you like the way I cleaned out this refrigerator?
You're amazing. That's why I call you my feel-good doctor.
See, my patients and everybody else, they know about my love language. They always give me that good love language, love.
Exactly. I'm going to make sure that I love on you a little bit more now that I know what it is.
Yes, and you're right, Miss Sharon. You are most definitely an ageless belle, honey. She is one of my most beautifulest ageless bells that follows us with Me Bella Health and Wellness. So
Well, we love you, Miss Sharon.
yes, always helping us out and following along and living her best life, y'all. So y'all go have a great weekend. Bye. Thank you, Comedienne Joy. Eat, drink, and ride, y'all. Y'all better sign up for your tours. Bye.
Bye.